Hello, everyone. This is Nolan Schmidt
and Rider Link Sharper Edge, aka John Paul Woda.
for Anime Talk, Episode 2.
And what we're going to be discussing is Sailor Moon, the newest addition in the remake, which is Sailor Moon Crystal.
Yeah, and we couldn't really do video for this one, so this one's going to be audio only. But of course, we're still going to talk about Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon Crystal. Now, one of the things we were actually really excited for is doing a good, decent review of Sailor Moon Crystal, and pretty much also talk about a little bit of what our plans are for this month.
Well, what basically we're going to be doing is we're going to have a vlog of us going to San Japan. We're also going to be showing a compilation video at the very end of San Japan of all the videos that we've taken that we're going to put together as a music slide, or at least a music video.
Well, I was planning on putting like each vlog for each day, and what we decided, we're going to be cosplaying all 3 days, and I'm going to be cosplaying as Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. I got like 2/3 of my costume complete. Me and a couple of people I know are currently working on the jacket right now.
And I'm going to be doing an OC from a script that I'm going to be featuring on Sharper Edge Films.
Nice. Now, yeah.
So hopefully everything will turn out fine, and Nolan is actually going to be my co-director.
Huh. Wow.
So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and we'll get the script written up as soon as possible when everything else kind of calms down, because I've been working a full-time job, and it has not been fun.
Yeah, and me, I've been doing some video work as a job because ever since I did one job, I've been getting other jobs here and there, and they've been fun pretty much. I mean, I get paid pretty good money for the jobs, but pretty much, at least the good thing is I enjoy sitting down and editing all the footage I get, and then showing it to the people I work for.
Which is good, and we'll make sure to keep our jobs and put up new videos. And I do apologize for not putting up many videos on my YouTube channel. My full-time job has taken up a lot of my time, and it's taken up a lot more time than I thought it would.
Yeah, I'm in the same situation because I was working on a feature-length film, but I had to cancel due to schedule conflicts and my job and everything else. And I mean, it was kind of a letdown because I had such big hopes for it, but now, I mean, at least I can try to work on my other projects involving my job and everything else.
And that's true for both of us. So we're going to make sure that we have more videos, and we're going to have some Let's Play videos that we're both going to be a part of. So there is good stuff to come, and hopefully you guys really just enjoy it and keep following us. And we do hope that we are entertaining you guys, and we are giving the information that you guys want. So if there's anything we can improve, anything you'd like us to improve, just comment, leave us messages. We'll make sure to read them, and we value every bit of advice you give us, and every comment that you give us, we appreciate.
Yeah, and recently we've been thinking about expanding TeamAnimeManga by doing an original video review show with original characters.
Yes, what we're actually going to be doing is, in the original, hopefully when we get the right kind of artist on board, because we're trying to hire other people and figure out what exactly we're going to be doing. I personally am going to be doing some of the animation, so hopefully you guys do enjoy that. I'm just waiting on my equipment, so
yeah, and
hopefully it just goes well and you guys will enjoy.
Yeah, plus I've been getting back to doing several reviews on TeamAnimeManga. On the blog. I recently did a review on the Azumanga Daioh manga, and that was a fun read. I had to say that was a really fun read.
I haven't been keeping up with too many animes, which I really miss. I really do miss reviewing animes and doing these kind of videos that we do. But that stuff aside, let's get started with the review.
Okay, so pretty much what we're going to talk about is the latest reboot that aired that aired today, and that is Sailor Moon Crystal Act One Sailor Moon, which is the first episode. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the animation, the story, the characters, and we're also going to do compare and contrast with both the 1990s anime and the original manga.
Hopefully, in this review, we'll give you guys some useful information and stuff that you will enjoy about the show. If you are original Sailor Moon fans, excuse me, you will like the new anime. I mean, both of us had very good reviews on it, and a lot of the story is very similar, but there are slight changes that we did notice.
Yeah, I mean, I myself, I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. Now, I might not seem like it, but I really love Sailor Moon. I mean, I got into it while I think it was my second or third year of college. I think one of my college friends reintroduced me to it, and I started enjoying it and everything else.
Mine was actually a little younger. I originally started watching manga, excuse me, I originally watched anime when I was about 10 years old, and that was more Tenchi Muyo and Dragon Ball Z. And then when I found Sailor Moon, I watched it for a while, but I never really got to finish the full series. But I do know most of the series.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it too on Toonami, but I wasn't really much into it. Like all I could remember was I was always watching was the transformation scenes.
But what we did notice is that some of the animation with the first point is animation. The animation with the transformation scene, since that's the best one to go on, uh, the original is very drawn out, very old style. You can tell from the time period it was made in the 1900s.
1990s.
1990s, excuse me. I'm gonna continue to do this. But anyways, with the new Sailor Moon transformations, it was a lot of more CGI work. Yeah, and it was a lot more 3D modeling, which is a very interesting. It's a very interesting element to add into the Sailor Moon series because it's been implemented in a few other of the animes, which some work, some don't. In this case, I'm leaving that more to other people's opinion. Personally, I thought it was a good change.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, to me, the CGI bit, the addition of CGI and 2D animation in it, reminded me so much of like the improved CGI animation work in the third Berserk movie, which I did watch a while back along with the first two Berserk movies, and to me, I'm not saying that it's similar, but I'm saying that it was actually really interesting what they did with it. Plus, I mean, I liked how they actually had the style of how they did the transformation in the same same pattern as the one in the 1990s anime, because it started out with the main part of the sailor suit, then it goes down to I think can't remember what else, but it was definitely very, especially even though it was CGI, it was still very fluent. The animation in this series is very fluent and really artistic in a way. I mean, the designs itself are almost very close to the designs made by the creator of the manga. And I mean, very close. But I mean, even the manga has the designs are very unique in its way.
One of the things I will comment on the differences between the cartoon, well, I say cartoon, but it was more drawn out style,
Yeah.
versus the CGI. The transformation scene actually had different parts of how the transformation actually worked. With the animation version, when it's actually drawn out, the whole body was actually transformed, and the outfit was added as a one-piece swimsuit in a way. With the CGI, only the top was actually done, and then the skirt was actually done later, which it's a very interesting thing to notice but it was such a slight change that it seems more current with how a lot of the transformations are done now in current animes than versus the other one. Because now it seems like there are more revealing type of transformations versus in the 1990s where it was very conservative.
Yeah, I mean, especially since now we don't have to worry about the anime, well, the 1990s anime or the newer anime when it comes here of it getting censored or anything like that, it like it did back in the 90s. Where I mean, nowadays times kind of changed now, and I mean because when they brought here the 90s, they uh they aimed it for kids and all that stuff,
and of course they had to do more conservative stuff if they're showing it to children. But it seems like the remake, and here's another example: My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic is a kind of a good comparison of how the dialogue and how the story actually changes depending on the audience that it's going towards.
Yeah, yeah. Especially this is a reboot, but definitely this is still heading to the same Sailor Moon fan base, and anyone who's also interested in watching something that's really close to the original manga. Because even the 1990s Sailor Moon itself actually had filler arcs in there. Because I mean, it took a while till they got to to Amy.
Well, like we were talking about, is the different types of animation with how the time period kind of reflects how the animation had to be.
Yeah.
Now, since they're aiming towards the existing Sailor Moon fan base, they can be a little more risky with some of their choices. And I say risky with a very timid way of saying it.
Yeah.
Well, not timid, but I can't think of the word actually.
Yeah. I mean, now, now with now with the rest of the animation, I mean, um, even the opening of the show is the opening is like really fluent in its way. I mean, however, this is the first time I actually saw a show where it actually because I remember we were talking about this before we started recording about how in the opening of the 90s you only had three of the Sailor Warriors, which you had Sailor Moon, Sailor Mercury, and Sailor Mars, but now you have all this, pretty much the main five sailors in this first story arc, which of course includes Sailor Venus and Sailor Jupiter. And I'm just amazed about the opening song that they use. I mean, it's a really catchy tune. I mean, however, I still love the original theme from the '90s one. I mean, I love that song a lot more. But I mean, it's just me. I mean, everyone has their opinion.
The original is more of a soft type of melody, while the new upbeat opening of the new edition is actually more fitting to how the time is. A lot more back then tend to be more slowed and more based around a different type of art musical style, while now it seems to be more upbeat with a lot more other animes. It does a lot more faster based notes and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, nowadays more of the newer anime tends to have more upbeat music a lot. I mean, even when uh back in 2009 when you had the HD recut of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Kai, or Dragon Ball Z Kai, the song Dragon Soul was a little bit more upbeat and everything else than what Chala, Head Chala, and We Got Power was for Dragon Ball Z. And I mean, still the opening for Sailor Moon Crystal, it's really good. Of course, with the animation, it kind of fits with the animation as well. And I really liked how they actually show the villain and her minions all in the opening as well, along with Tuxedo Mask and everything else.
Yeah,
And
and the
oh,
the introduction, the introduction with the tuxedo mask is a tad different than how he was originally inputted uh, in the original anime versus the one that's being rebooted.
yeah, pretty much. What I think, pretty much what they did for this episode is pretty much this episode. This first episode is actually very, very close to what was in the original the original chapter in the manga, which of course was called Act One Usagi Sailor Moon, and pretty much I can't really pronounce his first name. Sorry if I butcher it. Mamoru, Mamoru, yeah, Mamoru, who ends up being Tuxedo Mask. Originally in the manga, he's wearing a tuxedo outside of the jewelry store. However, in the '90s anime, they had to where he's in casual clothes and he's just walking around town pretty much. And in the new one, they went back to like the original manga in this case. I mean, and I really like how they did. I really liked how they actually had this as close to the original manga in its own way. I mean, there's still some stuff that they changed here and there, and stuff that they still cut out. But I mean, like pretty much it's very, very, very close to what was
Okay.
in the manga. Um, any of your input, John Paul?
Just kind of going a little further when we talk about some of the sequences. The original anime, and this is kind of a slight difference, and it was kind of funny to notice this, is just introducing her, the character of Sailor Moon in general. When you first meet her, she's very clumsy, very like crybaby-ish. I
Yeah,
mean, she fully admits that. And the one thing I did find that was really amazing is they actually used the original voice actors.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, she was the only one from the original cast to come back, and I mean, I love her voice. She has probably one of the best voices. And because even when she yelled out "Moon Prism Power Makeup," I mean, I literally felt a nostalgic rush right there.
I kind of had a little fanboy squeal for like a moment because I was like, "Oh my god, my childhood's coming back,"
Yeah,
and which is really cool because a lot of and I really do hope you, the audience, you guys at least, does understand that we did love this when we were kids. I mean, it was more based towards kids, but now it's still appreciating its audience.
yeah. However, we're of course, we are talking about the original Japanese version here. I mean, it's I mean the thing I love, but the one thing that I noticed that was very different, and this was even in the trailers and teasers before this aired, is that the one big different, like when I said that this was close, the one thing I did notice is in the original manga when Usagi turns into Sailor Moon. Originally, she actually has a mask on that's very close to the one that Tuxedo Mask wears, and I think they decided not to have that in this reboot. It's it's one thing I was like I was hoping to see, but of course since they didn't have the mask, I'm like okay. Well, I mean she doesn't wear in the rest of the manga. I mean even when she gets to the jewelry store, she's not even wearing the mask.
And we're gonna fast forward to uh, the past the school day and all that stuff, which was very similar in general, but there were obviously slight differences.
Yeah, and I mean I really liked how they did the how of course the one thing is going of course reintroducing the how they introduced Usagi to Luna was originally in the both the manga and this reboot. She accidentally tripped over Luna, but in the
which is
'90s
bad.
anime they had it to where the kids put bags on her feet. I mean, it's like, I guess I don't know. That
Well,
did they?
it's a slight difference, but honestly, I can't get mad at that. I mean, the one major difference was, and I did notice this when they went to the jewelry store. And sorry if we go back and forth. We're trying to get the most changes as possible in this review, but in the original anime, there was one lady that was kind of a bigger, heavy-setter woman, but they were introducing like the sales and the different types of like sales that were going with the jewels.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you do know Sailor Moon, that the villain is plotting to use the jewelry to drain life from the people wearing them. Well, the heavier set woman is introduced and kind of taken away, but she's taken away, and I feel like it's more of a making fun of the rich, because what happens is she goes immediately to the sale and hears the sale and says sold right off the bat. While in the new reboot, the character is actually not introduced.
Yeah, and I don't think she was in the manga either. I think she was just an added character in Toei's perspective. Because I don't think she's in here. I got the manga in my hand right now, and yeah, she's not in here. Mostly, it's just showing the monster of the day as Usagi's friend's mother.
Which was another thing that was kind of different. If you did notice, and a couple of you Sailor Moon fans will probably notice this, but and I feel perverted saying this, but and it's just changes that I'm starting to notice with some of the riskier ways of introducing characters. Is the monster is introduced in the original anime as a almost of a husk. She's very thin. She's very bony in structure.
Yeah.
And she's very monstrous looking. While in the reboot, she is more looking how a succubus, as we see a succubus, maybe appeared. Her features are a lot different, and the only things that are changing are her hair and the body structure. The body structure actually shows like physical changes.
Yeah, and in the manga, the character, the monster of the day almost looks like a zombie in a way.
While in the original anime, it looked more like a skeleton or a husk.
Yeah.
As we said before.
Yeah, and the other difference here also is I really was shocked how they actually did the crying scene, and they had to where in both they had this ultrasonic cry in both the manga and and in the in the reboot, and of course it it was it was kind of funny in a way just to see the glass break, and in the 1990s anime, it's just her crying really loud and all that stuff.
And it seemed more like her headpieces were actually speakers.
Yeah.
While in this one, it seemed more coming from her voice. Which, again, it's slight changes that we notice, but it's still changes that we kind of wonder what was the artist's perspective on this.
Yeah.
The other thing was, and when she was using her Sailor Moon, or the power boomerang.
Yeah. Because
in the original anime, she did not throw it.
Well, she did. It was however she called it Moon Tiara action, but she did throw it. I mean, but she called it Moon Tiara action. But in the manga and in the reboot, it's changed to it's Moon Tiara boomerang, and it's very
similar to how the manga is.
Yeah.
Which I think they're just going for more of the original manga version of it, so they're getting as close to the manga as possible.
Yeah.
But still keeping that flair of an anime.
Yeah. And my one favorite part in this in the in the episode is how it's like they instantly like show Tuxedo Mask fully in costume before Usagi gets to the jewelry store as Sailor Moon. That I did not really expect. I did not fully expect. I thought they were probably going to do what they did with the '90s anime and have him be like
The mysterious man.
Yeah, but of course you already had a hint of who he was already with both the manga and in the reboot.
One other thing I did notice, and I don't know if you noticed this too, Nolan, but the introduction of the villain, the woman villain, was actually not introduced in the first first scene. It was actually I believe it's her sidekick. I'm not really sure.
One of her minions, Jedi.
Yes, he was the one who appears to be the main villain because he's the one who actually creates the monster instead of the main villainess actually creating the monster herself.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that Toei wanted to do for the '90s anime. They wanted to show this is the villain right here. This is Queen Beryl. She's the main villain. I know him Beryl. Yeah. So and even the manga, she's not introduced until the second chapter, Act 2. And so pretty much that means that we're going to end up seeing her in the second episode, which is coming up the Saturday when we're at San Japan. And my favorite guess about what's going to happen now, especially with the how they're doing this with the how they're getting the show close to the manga. I'm still surprised how they have it at 26 episodes because the thing is that if they're doing it by acts and they're doing each chapter, then what they're if by 26 it's going to go right into the second story arc in the manga, but they're strictly having this as the first story arc unless they're going to expand some of the chapters in some way. But going back, the one thing I would like to notice is the character designs again. I mean, I know I've already talked about how you got the design so close to the manga, but the designs are just so like it doesn't even look like regular anime. It looks like works of art pretty much in a way. Like if you like went to DeviantArt and found like somebody who made this really really beautiful rendition of an anime show, it kind of reminds me of that in a way.
Yeah, and I will tack on a little bit of an opinion about that, which, like I said before, I just think they're going with the original manga and how it was kind of more envisioned by the artist.
Yeah.
So, again, it's more of one of those subtle changes that we tend to notice.
Yeah. And and pretty much with the whole with this series, by the way, when they're saying that there's going to be 26 episodes based on the first story arc, I mean, hopefully by the way that they're doing this, I know I'm kind of jumping the gun. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here or just keep having my hopes up too early, but if they're going to do with the manga, then that means that they would have to continue with another series to do the other story arcs. But of course, I know I'm skipping ahead so far, and I know nothing's announced yet. So anyway, is there anything else that we should probably? Is there any other things that you notice that we haven't talked about yet?
Not really. I believe we've actually gone through the whole scene by scene as best we can.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll jump to the next point, which is
Well, we jumped to each part so well, but like the story, animation, and the comparison and contrasts here and there.
oh, okay. I guess I just lost my place then. I have a little notepad in front of me.
Yeah, I think we jumped to each one. So pretty much we have to agree that the animation is really good.
It's top notch. I really do appreciate the anime and manga transfer and how they're doing that. The character development seems to be the same as progress like in the manga is. And
yeah.
It does really a lot of good to see how the artists are and the animators and directors are really going for the original feel and how it originally was.
Yeah. And I mean, even though there was some stuff that still was only like a little, it's only like a little bit of stuff that's cut out, but I mean, it's enough to tell the chapter the point, get to the just to get to the point. That's what think. I mean, it's not full exact. I mean, I don't think with any anime adaptation they got to the every exact point of the manga because I mean, but I have to say they have definitely did a good job with this episode, and hopefully I'm really excited to see the next episode now. But of course, I have to probably have to wait till the Monday when we get back from San Japan.
Yeah, so if we do lag a little bit on how our on our versions of how we're going to do the reviews, we will get to the next best things. But we do hope you guys really enjoyed this review. Yeah. We hope that you still tag along with us and as we keep going through this adventure of animation and anime.
All right, so let's get down to what was actually announced at Anime Expo by Viz Media about the 90s Sailor Moon anime English dubcast, and a little bit of news about.
You're gonna have to be the one that explains this. I haven't done too much information.
Okay, so pretty much Viz Media actually announced details and even had the English cast there at Anime Expo. Now, according to Anime News Network, this is what they announced. Now, I may not pronounce the names right here, but I'm going to try my best, and sorry if I butcher some of the names, but I'm going to do this the best I can. Okay, so for the person they got for Usagi, aka Sailor Moon, they got Stephanie Sheh, and if many people don't know who she is, if you're a huge fan of Naruto, she actually does the voice of Hinata,
which is my absolute favorite character, so I'm actually really excited for that.
Yeah, and then for Amy, who's Sailor Mercury, they got Kate Higgins, another Naruto voice actress. She does the voice of Sakura. And then the others, it's hit and miss because some of these I don't. I try to look up and I couldn't recognize any of the series that they were in and all that stuff. Christina V will be playing as Ray, aka Sailor Mars. Amanda C. Miller will be playing as Makoto, who is Sailor Jupiter. Kirami Lei, I think that's how to pronounce it, will be playing as Minako, who is Sailor Venus. And then Robbie Damon will be playing as Mamoru, aka Tuxedo Mask. And then these two I instantly recognize. Michelle Ruff will be playing as Luna, and Jung Bosch will be playing as Artemis. And I'm going to skip down to some of the big other names here because they did like Usagi's family and all that stuff here. But Cindy Robinson will be doing Queen Beryl. Todd Hapricorn will be doing Jedi. Liam O'Brien's going to be doing Nephrite. Lucian Dodge is playing Zolcite. And Patrick Saints is doing Kunzite. And of course, along with this, they announced the release of the first Blu-ray and DVD box set on November 11th. And they mostly had details on the Blu-ray. Pretty much, it says here, according to Anime News Network, the Blu-ray box set will include 3 Blu-ray discs, a chipboard box with space for part 2 of the first season, um, and a collectible 88-page booklet filled with art, character profiles, episode guides, and the disc will contain video extras, which will be interactive art gallery, dub recording behind the scenes, announcement panel and fan reactions, hype trailer, clean opening, ending, and other trailers. So pretty much what they're doing is, I think pretty much what they're doing is pretty much the same as what they're currently doing with the Ranma 1/2 box sets. Of course, they're doing pretty much as they've I think as they announced, they're going to be doing 2 box sets for each series. So there's going to be 2 for Sailor Moon, 2 for Sailor Moon R, 2 for Sailor Moon S, 2 for Super S, and 2 for Sailor Moon Stars, which Sailor Moon Stars has never aired in the United States due to much of the content in there that a lot that the distributors found objectionable, pretty much. But I mean, to me, I'm really excited about this, and they said that pre-orders will actually open really soon for the scheduled release. And that's all I can talk about with the English dub. I mean, I'm going to say this. They've done a good job with the English dub casting. And why I'm actually impressed is this was actually also approved by both Toei Animation and the creator of Sailor Moon herself.
Which is a very big thing if the original artist actually approves of who the casting is.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of criticism, a lot with the older dub. I mean, especially since one company did both Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon R, and then another company did S and Super S, and there were some favorite casts, and there was some casts that were kind of like really angered fans. I mean, a lot of the fans criticized the casting in S and Super S, and a lot of people a lot of the fans praised like some of them liked some of the casting in Sailor Moon and R, but I mean the thing was that was when they just think because there was voice dialogue and all that stuff. But the thing is, at least with this English dub that Viz is going to release, they're going to stick with the original Japanese version. They're going to keep the characters will keep their original names, so there won't be a Serena. There will be Usagi. I mean, that's what I'm actually happy for because I mean, when I watch Sailor Moon, I don't see the character as Serena. I see her as Usagi. I don't see Tuxedo Mask as Darien. I see him as Mamoru. I I mean, I'm really excited about this. And
I am too. I do like the casting, and I do think there could be a little changes, but at the same time, I do like the casting, and I do like the people that are being put into the actual roles. I believe they're actually very fitting.
yeah, I mean, of course, when they did the announcement trailer, they did have that sneak peek of Sailor Moon's voice, and I instantly I said, I know that voice. I can't think of it at the top of my head. So I had to wait till this announcement, and finally, when they said it was Stephanie Sheh, I'm like, holy shit, that's who that was. And I just love. I mean, I love her work, her voice work as Hinata and everything else, and it's. I mean, I'm actually kind of glad that they got Michelle Ruff as Luna and Jang Bosch as Artemis because I mean with the roles that they've done, I think they're like the perfect for those cat characters. I mean, I mean, like Michelle Ruff did like played as like Fujiko Mine in Lupin the Third, and I mean, and of course John Young Bosch. I mean, actually, the funny thing is, I'm actually glad that I actually got. I mean, I'm actually glad that I was able to meet him last year at San Japan, and with him signing my copy of Akira. I mean, I'm just kind of happy that Viz got the rights to Sailor Moon. I mean, what would happen if the rights was given to some other company or something like that? Because I know if Discotech would have gotten it, then they would have stuck with the original Japanese version. Which I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, I do like the Japanese version, but and then of course, I know Funimation was try to get it for a while, but I mean, who knows what Funimation would have done though?
Oh God, I can't imagine what Funimation would have done. And not that we're knocking Funimation; they've done really good work, but some of the casting has been kind of interesting with some of their
Yeah,
proposals.
yeah, and who knows how they would have how they would advertise Sailor Moon in their case because I mean some of their recent some of their recent acquirements like they've been focusing a lot on fan service a lot in my case, but I don't know. I think it's just me because I mean a lot of times now they're just advertising a lot about fan service. And it's like,
Hooray!
yeah, I mean, if I want to watch fan service, I would just sit down and watch Agent
High School of the
Ayaka,
Dead.
High School is Dead, Agent Ayaka. I mean, whatever. I mean, whatever. Um, whatever there is.
But again, we know they're companies and we know they're trying to make money, so
Yeah,
and that tends to talk. Money talks.
yeah.
Unfortunately, some of the times.
It's pretty much it's like same like my dad would normally say, money talks, bullshit walks. Pretty much.
Yep. But I believe that does it for our review.
Yeah. So pretty much. What will happen is so I will have a text review of my input on this along with this episode, and pretty much if pretty much we like we said we are planning on going to go we are going to be going to San Japan. So if you happen to if you're happen to be at San Japan and you see the both of us, um, it I mean you can come and tell us hi and all that stuff. I mean this is just I mean pretty much I do have other reviews planned, text review wise on the blog. I do plan on doing reviews of Orphan and Orphan Revenge, Otaku video, no Otaku no video from Gynax, and of course I recently got Sakura Diaries, and pretty much that's all I have planned for the reviews. Plus, there's a text review for episode 2, so I'm going to keep track of Sailor Moon Crystal a lot, do episode by episode reviews.
And I'll try to join as much as possible. But like I said before, I don't have a lot of things planned, but I am trying to keep up with my channel and trying to get more of your guys' input on what games I should be playing. So I do apologize for not replying to any comments or anything like that. I will try to make sure all of that goes.
Yeah. Plus, we may end up. I think we may end up trying to find some anime titles in the dealer's room at San Japan. Like I know I'm going to try to look at if the discotheque is going to be at the San Japan again with a lot of material. I'm going to try to buy myself a couple of titles that's actually on my wish list because I got like Captain Harlock, some of the Go Nagai material, and definitely one of the biggest titles that they did get, which we did mention in episode 1, was School Days, and they recently released that. And I mean, I'm going to eventually get it and give it a review, but I mean, it's something that but
It's low on our list that we want to do.
yeah, yeah, like right now, I think the biggest thing on my list I want to review right now, since I've just that I just finished watching it is Orphan and Orphan Revenge. And I do want to try to get to review some more manga soon. I may end up going back and reviewing and rereading the Orphan manga or the Akira manga, because I do want to try to review some of the movies I own. Because I know the only movies I reviewed total, I think, was the Miyazaki movies, which I did many reviews of, The Wind Rises, uh, and the End of Evangelion, which I really enjoyed writing that review. But anyway, I got some more. I mean, it's going to take a while for me to work on that. Probably going to work on that stuff because all I'm going to do mostly now is just sit down and watch series and series here and there, and it's just so tough now. But the other part I wanted to try to do is I'm planning on trying to do a revisit of Fist of the North Star 2, which is the television sequel of Fist of the North Star, because I want to revisit it and give a better opinion on it than what I did in the original review of Fist of the North Star.
And I believe that does it, guys.
All right.
You know all the updates, you know everything that we're going to be doing, and hopefully you guys enjoy this and keep sticking around with us.
Yeah, pretty much. I think we're probably going to end up meeting soon to do cosplay pictures. Whenever I think whenever we get our costumes done and finished, and we might end up posting it on our Facebook page. Um, so pretty much you can follow. So pretty much you can follow us on YouTube, Blogspot, and Facebook. Pretty much pretty much if you want to continue reading our reviews and watching our videos, um, pretty much I mean give us some time and we'll have more reviews and stuff here and there. Yep.
And I believe that does it, guys. So I will sign off from this review, and like I said before, stick around for more.
This has been Nolan Schmidt,
and Ryder Link Sharper Edge, aka John Paul Woda.
and we're signing off.
Later, guys.